his power in the land. Amen. I'm telling you, David lived a life that had to be full of so many good joys and so many victories. Wouldn't it have been wonderful just to be, I'd like to have been there when he stood up on Goliath's chest and took his sword and cut his head off. He said, boy, you ain't calling me a dog now, are you? Amen. Goliath said, you come at me. He said, am I a dog? He said, you come at me with a spear and a sword. That's what David told him. He said, but I come at you in the name of the Lord. I'm telling you, you can have all the technology. You can have all the ministries. You can have the most beautiful buildings and organization. But friend, if we don't have the power of God, if we don't have the Spirit of the Lord, if we do not have the touch of God operating in our life, we'll never be as effective as God intends us to be. Are you listening? How David was lifted, how David lived. You can see how David loved. You go to Judges, there's no king. You go to 1 Samuel, you got man's king. Finally, when you get to 2 Samuel, you get God's king. See, listen, they rejected Samuel and they gave him Saul. Saul was never God's idea. Saul was man's idea. And can I tell you, Trish and I were talking the other night, and I told him, Dr. Agent Rogers said years ago, one of the greatest judgments of God on any people is when he gives them what they ask for. Amen. And can I tell you, listen, exactly what happened in the nation of Israel is what God told the nation of Israel that Saul would do to them. David was always intended to be the king. But listen to me, man, what Saul never did, not one time, Brother Randy, did Saul ever make an attempt to go get the Ark of the Covenant and bring it home. Amen. But the very first thing David did, it was not to build him a house. But the very first thing David did as the king, he went down there to get that Ark of the Covenant. Hey, Brother Whittemore, he said, man, if I'm going to be the king, I've got to have the Lord. I've got to have the presence of God. I need the glory of God to reign in Israel. So he went down there and got the Ark. And when he came back in, he hit the city's limits. I mean, man, you talk about worshiping God. I mean, man, he was overcome. That the presence of God was in Jerusalem, the city where God chose to put his name. And he began to dance before the Lord with all his might. Now, neighbor, that ain't no dance team that you see in these churches today. That ain't no bar room, boot scooting boogie. I believe that was a holy dance before. You say, I ain't never seen that. I saw it as a boy when them old senior ladies of God would get full and begin to shout, look like they'd float around the building and shout the bobby pins out of their hair. I saw that as a boy. Amen. He wasn't nothing fleshly.